Hello, friends. A Ukrainian drone operator scans a field full of rabbits with a thermal camera. The drone nears several bright heat signatures, but closer inspection shows they're just hairs in the snow. The operator calmly corrects course and resumes the search. Interestingly, after watching this video, Ivan had another great idea to evade Ukrainian drones. They're not the only animals you can see up front. This footage shows the horde repeatedly using mounted scouts for reconnaissance of the defenders' forward positions. To avoid hurting the beasts, and by that I mean the horses, the mosquito operators waited for the orcs to dismount. Luckily, none of the horses were injured. I recall someone saying the Ruskies are winning, yet they're attacking on horseback. Does something not add up? The good news is, the Z penguin population seems to be growing, as a new video today showed another bird trying to reach the defenders' positions, but a warrior mosquito intercepted it halfway. I wonder when we'll see a flock of these exotic birds migrating together across the Ukrainian steppe. Elsewhere on the front, this invading soldier, who could win a Nobel Darwin Award, persuades a colleague to pick up an anti-personnel mine. To record it better on his cell phone, the sequence was filmed in 2025. But seriously, it's brilliant. Too bad his friend can't clap now. An invader finds two wounded colleagues tied to transport poles and abandoned in the open. The narrator says they are already old and were abandoned days ago, but during the winter campaign, as they are wearing white camouflage. Comrades released them after hearing a mosquito nearby, but never returned for their wounded, who slowly froze to death tied to poles. Here's a video to show when some son of Putin tells you that the Z horde doesn't abandon their own. And speaking of them, in this footage we see another session of stick therapy applied to the invader by the attack mosquitoes of the Signum unit, who operate by sweeping the front of the magnet, relentlessly searching for the nests where illegal tourists hide in houses, basements, and deep in the forests. The good thing about these patrols is they always have enough targets to meet their daily quota. They also help Ivan warm up by doing evasion and escape maneuvers, which usually aren't very effective. But not all mosquitoes are as considerate as, for example, this little rascal, who couldn't find anything better to do than crash the tea party uninvited. A group of Z raiders hid in a hideout to consider if invading Ukraine was a good idea. That's how you deal with unwanted guests, but that treatment doesn't beat this one, where we see how an orc is expelled from a pipe by the explosion of a mosquito at the other end of it. You'd think that was the worst part of his morning, but no, this was actually the worst moment of the day. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Ukrainians sterilize pipes infested with orcs. Fortunately, this orc has a bright future ahead, joining the circus. Due to these actions, gathering Z infantry at the pig farm took longer than the invaders expected. This let the gunners of the 225th Assault Regiment realize what was happening and aim their howitzers at the piglets' pen. When they went up, were enough Russians there? They launched a barrage of 155mm shells that ruined the whole afternoon for the group of illegal tourists. "20 years ago, the last D-222M was dismantled at Poltava Air Base. On January 27, 2006, destruction of 60 Tupolev 72-feet bombers and 423 Kh-22 cruise missiles was finished. This work was done as part of the Joint Threat Reduction Program, funded by the United States. In addition to the 222 backfire 10 Tupolev, 160 Blackjack and 2 Tupolev, 134 were destroyed. In addition, 8 Tu-163, Tu-95, and 575 cruise missiles were transferred to the Russian Federation, some of which there is evidence have been fired at Ukraine. an irony that makes this whole operetta even more bitter. Ukraine traded a world-class arsenal for empty promises and was left defenseless against the wolf's den. This shows that disarmament agreements are just polite ways for superpowers to neutralize threats while they're sharpening their own claws. The defenders destroyed several backfires on the ground and in the air, including a Tupolev 22 M3 shot down over Stavropol Pole. Continuing on the air front, on January 28, the Z Aerospace Forces suffered the confirmed loss of at least one Su-34 Fullback bomber. The incident was made public through the Mill blogger Fighter Bomber, who is closely linked to the General Staff of Russian Aviation, who posted a photo of a Su-34 and a long, somber poem, indirectly confirming a pilot's demilitarization. The General Staff of Ukraine reported that a Su-34 was shot down over the northwest of the Black Sea, near Snake Island, by a Patriot missile. Meanwhile, the aircraft neared the coast to attack Odessa with missiles or glide bombs. It was stated that both the pilot and the aircraft's weapons systems officer will no longer enjoy Fighter Bomber's poems. What stands out is the poor planning of the mission. That airspace is heavily monitored and defended with advanced radars, air defenses, and interception. Ukrainians in the Black Sea region and Odessa are top-notch, so a non-stealth attack aircraft like the Su-34 has no real chance of getting in, attacking, and getting out safely unless the defenses have been suppressed or it uses long-range weapons. Once detected, especially near the coast, the chances of evasion are extremely low. This points to deeper problems than just planning. Russian commanders are either accepting aircraft and crew losses for minimal gains or ordering missions that no longer match battlefield realities. Both options suggest a force under extreme pressure from its commanders, and that is running out of viable options to accomplish its missions. But sometimes the invaders do something right, almost in this case. On January 26, the BM-35 drone from the Rubicon Center, guided in real time by Starlink, infiltrated the Konatovo airfield, 200 kilometers from the front, where it destroyed a full-scale model of a Ukrainian F-16 ADV. The Rubicon Center admitted the destroyed target was a decoy. Invaders at least enjoyed a brief moment of triumph. What is concerning is that a drone controlled in real time managed to reach an airfield deep inside Ukraine using a Starlink connection. Ending on a positive note, this shows how people in Kiev reacted when electricity returned to their homes after the Putlerian invaders attacked the country's power system. No light, no water, no heating, but it's all worth it, as long as there are no Russians. For those who want to see additional content, we invite you to subscribe to our Patreon, where for just $1 you'll have access to uncensored war videos. Visit our store to find items from Ukraine's top units. Every purchase supports United 24, helping reconstruction, civil aid, and defense.